Long before California was a state, a territory, or even a name on a European map, it was one of the most densely and diversely populated regions in all of North America. Scholars estimate that somewhere between 300,000 and 350,000 indigenous people lived here before Spanish colonization, speaking more than 100 distinct languages from many unrelated language families. That is an extraordinary level of diversity, and it was no accident. It reflected thousands of years of careful adaptation to California's many environments, from the Pacific coast and the Central Valley to the Sierra Nevada and the Mojave Desert. These were not scattered, simple communities. Indigenous Californians organized themselves into hundreds of distinct nations, each with sophisticated social, political, and economic systems. Along the coast, the Chumash built ocean-going plank canoes called tamal and ran long-distance trade networks. In the San Joaquin Valley, the Yokuts formed complex political confederacies. Around San Francisco Bay, the Ohlone maintained intricate ceremonial traditions tied to the seasons. This rich and complicated world is the baseline we have to keep in mind, because it is against this baseline that the devastation of colonization can be honestly measured. Our understanding of this period has been transformed in recent decades by collaborative indigenous archaeology. This is an approach that brings tribal knowledge, oral tradition, and community partnership directly into the research process, alongside conventional excavation. When archaeologists worked with the Ama Mutsun tribal band in the Santa Cruz Mountains, they uncovered something remarkable. The land had been actively managed. Indigenous peoples practiced systematic prescribed burning of coastal prairies, a deliberate stewardship practice that sustained the biological diversity of these ecosystems for centuries, until Spanish authorities suppressed it after 1769. The Muwekma Ohlone have done similar work around the southern bay, reinterpreting ancestral sites and reasserting their cultural stewardship. What all of this scholarship represents is a real departure from older approaches associated with figures like Alfred Kroger that treated Native Californians mainly as objects to be observed rather than as active agents shaping their own history. So as we begin this story, hold on to this picture. A land of hundreds of nations, more than 100 languages, and people who were not passive occupants of the landscape, but its careful managers. Everything that follows, every wave of colonization and conquest, lands on top of this world. In the next segment, we'll meet the first Europeans to sail this coast.